Todd Zehrer is a fitness expert. He's a father of two. You know him from Shred 415 in Old Town. And I wanted to have a conversation with him as far as fatherhood, parenthood, and how to achieve our fitness goals. Because I think that's a struggle that many parents have to deal with. And as a dad and as a fitness instructor, I wanted him to give us a little bit of insight. So thanks for joining me today, Todd.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk about, fitness and family and incorporating it all into one.
And now let's first of all talk about making time. Obviously, kids get up in the middle of the night. Kids, have weird feeding schedules. There's a lot of things that have to be done, and it's tough to carve out that time for yourself to work out. What are some tips that you use or that clients of yours have used that you've seen that work?
Yeah, so it can definitely be challenging with the crazy schedules of infants, toddlers, teenagers, whatever kind of stage of life your kids are in. But I always think that you can find a way to make it work. One of the ways that I do it is early morning workouts are definitely a part of my routine now. Try and get it in before the kids wake up. Of course, you'll have those days where they get up and you have to, run upstairs, bring them down, try to keep your heart rate up while you're taking care of a kid. Things definitely shift, but there's definitely time in our day where we can find time to work out. Another thing that I like to do is kind of chopping my workout into more biteable pieces, I guess I would say. So like maybe you do a 10-minute workout in the morning, you do a 15-minute workout between calls if you're working from home. And then maybe after the kids go to bed, you can fit in another 15 minutes. It's all just kind of about making it work while still making your family work.
So that's something new that I've heard. So you can actually split up your workout. So if you were hoping to work out 30 minutes a day, you can actually do 10, 10-minute increments.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Honestly, when you have kids, a lot of it is just about finding the time and getting it in. So if you only have 10 minutes at a certain amount of time, then that's the time that you've got. You might as well use it. Something is always better than nothing, right?
Oh, exactly. Now at Shred 415, there are some locations with childcare. So if somebody does come for an early morning class, they are able to bring their children in there currently. And then you also have on-demand options as well, too. So if people want to get that shred workout, that they're able to do that from the comfort of their own home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer in nothing beats in-person fitness, sweating along with a group of other energized people. It just brings an energy and brings something out of you that I don't think, or at least I haven't found, can be brought out when you're doing it alone. So yeah, something that Shred 415 offers, as well as some other studios, is childcare while you're working out. So you can bring the kids, you can rest assured that they're being watched by trained childcare. They've got all that they need to keep them entertained and keep them happy. And so that's something that a lot of our parents like to take advantage of that are Shred clients. Another thing, as you mentioned, is on demand or online classes. If you can't make it in, obviously this is a great option. You can find 30 minutes or find a little bit of time, maybe while your kid is napping, where you can work out, or you and your partner can tag team. Sometimes I'll work out for 30 minutes, then I'll tell my wife it's your turn and she can hop on the bike, and I'll kind of watch the kids when she's doing that. So again, it's all about making it work with the dynamic of your family.
And I think one of the things too is just to give yourself that permission to know that life is very different with kids versus before you had kids. And even though your mindset beforehand, you ran a 5K every weekend out on the, during the summer months, or you trained for a marathon or a triathlon, or you went to the gym after work X amount of days, where that schedule is going to have to, that schedule obviously, changes with parenthood, and giving yourself that permission of maybe resetting your goals or having different goals. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that I've had to come around to. I would say in the beginning of having kids, I was like, oh my gosh, my workouts are slipping. My workouts aren't what they used to be. And it can be for a number of reasons. Some days, maybe it's because I just didn't have the energy. My kids were up all night, so I didn't have the energy to put into my workout what I usually could in a previous life, or I don't have the time. And so just being gentle with yourself, allowing yourself to breathe and realize that your life is not measured by the workouts. It's measured by the moments, and hopefully you'll be able to find time for yourself and for your goals to fit that workout in. But not every day is going to be the best workout ever. You just kind of have to take it day by day. But I really think that when you start to prioritize, your workouts and your fitness, you're able to find a routine. In the beginning, if you're just starting out trying to balance having a family and working out, it might seem super daunting because you're like, I have no idea where I'm going to fit this, how I'm going to make this happen. But I would say rather quickly, you'll find that you can get your kids into a routine and even find ways to get your kids involved.
Now, I do want to talk about family fitness in a moment, but I do want to ask, as far as you training for a marathon, you have two young, small kids. How was that training, and maybe some inspiration for somebody who might be thinking about making that a goal for this fall? Maybe the Chicago Marathon or another one that is taking place across our nation. How did you train for that, and maybe some tips as far as carving out something like that, especially a big goal?
Rudy, it was hard. But it was amazing. So I mean, my wife is amazing. She knew that I had this goal. I was supposed to do it back in 2020. Of course, that was canceled. So 2021 was my year. We had another baby at home. So we went from having one kid to two kids in 2021. And I couldn't have done it without my wife's support. For all of my long run days, I did them on Sundays. I got up at the crack of dawn when it was still dark. And in the beginning of my training, before the mileage got too long, it was always my goal, like, all right, just try and get this done before both kids are awake so that it's not, too much on the single parent who's at home, and so that I could, pull my weight. So when the miles started getting longer, there was just an understanding that this was a goal that I committed to, and my wife was fully supportive of it. But she did tell me, and she might kick my butt for saying this, but she did tell me, she was like, you are not running the marathon next year. So as supportive as she was, I do know that maybe in a couple of years, I'll get my chance again.
To get it, well, one and done, currently, but you guys can go out there as a family and go cheer on the runners, this upcoming year. So at least that's something that, can kind of sway her maybe for 2023 or 2024 to be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm going to be so jealous of everybody running though. So, but yes, we'll see. Layla loved going to the race. My kids had so much fun. My daughter had her little bell and she was ringing it super loud. And then for weeks after, she was playing, Daddy, now let's pretend I'm running the race and you need to yell, go Layla, go Layla. So we did that for a solid 3 weeks after the marathon.
That is amazing. I do want to talk a little bit about your daughter, because you've told me that she does yoga in her daycare. You've also incorporated that, when you're working out, that she'll do that alongside of you. Maybe changing our goals or, altering them as parents to include our kids and what us as role models, and our kids seeing us, working out, what that actually does to our children.
Yeah. So we all know our kids pick up on what we're putting down. So especially when we were in full quarantine mode and I was getting all of my workouts in at home, Layla definitely was picking up on that. She saw me working out. She would sometimes do push-ups along with me or do squats along with me. She has a few, workout clothing sets that she likes to wear. And a lot of times what she really likes is when I'm on the bike or if I'm doing something in the basement and I'm working out, I'll put on a YouTube Kids toddler yoga and she'll be super excited about it. She does it at her school, like you mentioned, at her daycare. They have once a week yoga. She learns some of the poses. She even tells me if she ever notices that I'm getting heated or frustrated, she'll put her hands at her chest and place her hands together and say, Daddy, take deep breaths. So it's it's so amazing to see that she's already incorporating fitness and breath and movement into her life as a 3.5-year-old. And it makes me really proud that I get to be the person to model that behavior for her.
Oh my goodness. I mean, just even that thought right there, I'm thinking that, one day I'm going to be 75 years old and she's going to be teaching at Shred. And I'm just going to have this moment of like, I remember your dad telling me the story of when you were a little girl and now fitness has become a part of your life. I can just see that happening.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it would be amazing if she followed in my footsteps. I feel like she'd be a great motivator. She's really good at telling me what to do. So I'm sure she'll be really good at bossing around a room of people as well.
Well, I mean, I do love your classes. I mean, like you had said, as far as like getting an in-person workout, because not only are you an amazing instructor and the music is wonderful, but you see the people next to you and those people help motivate you, as well too. And that's such a sense of community, which I think Shred, really brings, because that's what I've always enjoyed about the classes there.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Like I said, there's nothing like in-person fitness. There's nothing like when the lights go dim, the music gets turned on, and you're sweating in your favorite instructor's class. It's an energy that's just palpable. And for me, it really lets me get in the zone. So I hope that everybody can, when they're feeling safe, when they're feeling good, can come and experience a workout.
Oh, exactly. And then the final thing I just want to say, as far as parent guilt, I think it's probably a real thing of like, I shouldn't give myself this 30 or 45 minutes because X amount of chores are waiting for me at home, or these are the things that I know I should be catching up on. But you really can't take care of your children if you're not taking care of yourself. Do you find that conversation with clients or with yourself, as far as kind of having that, should I be doing this, and how to overcome that?
Yeah, it's tough. I would say the parent guilt thing is real because there's always something to be doing. Anytime that you're not with your kids is time that I guess you could be with your kids. But it's super important for your own mental health, your own physical health, to be a healthy version of yourself who can be there for your kids, who can model behavior on how to handle stress well, on how to keep their minds healthy, their bodies healthy. So these are all important things that I think, even though in the moment it might not feel like we're taking care of business or being a super involved parent, if you take a step back and you look big picture, I believe that we are doing exactly that.
Todd, thank you so much for your time today. Go check them out at Shred 415 in Old Town. You can also check out on-demand classes through the website as well too. And this was just a great conversation about giving yourself that permission to maintain those fitness goals, altering your expectations of what life was before kids, and also how to incorporate your kids into your workouts as well too. I mean, this was amazing. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Have a good one, Rudy.
You too.